Dear Mom, for the first time in 15 years, I'm not cooking a Thanksgiving feast for you and Dad. No organic heritage breed $1 million bird brining in the fridge. No gluten-free stuffing, soaking up butter and broth in the big stock pot, the one usually reserved for cooking Chinese herbs. On the counter there are no bags of chanterelle mushrooms stuck with dug fir needles and soil from the forest floor. No white cremini mushrooms that look as scrubbed as choir boys, or the cipollini onions that take so long to peel and boil, but are so worth it when added to the mushrooms and butter. The clear butter cubby on the refrigerator door sits empty too. I mean, unless you count the wasabi paste and one of your old insulin syringes. When we were kids, we'd follow you around Roger Wilco and Alpha Beta, and later in high school, we'd follow you through the Safeway that finally came to town. We'd watch you throw yellow boxes of Kellogg's brand cube stuffing into the basket, cans of Ocean Spray jellied cranberry sauce, a bottle of Kitchen Bouquet, because God forbid the gravy shouldn't be a brilliant, deep mahogany. Decorative squash for a centerpiece, canned yams and heavy syrup for your sweet potatoes, 10 pounds of russet potatoes, and the frozen bird. No heritage bird yours. Norbest or Butterball at 17 cents a pound, or free if you bought $100 worth of groceries. And you always did. Especially after you added the cans of green and black olives, jars of spiced apple rings, sweet gherkins, and mini dills for your relish tray, plus the mixed nuts for the sterling silver nut cups, the same ones your ungrateful children sold in the estate sale, because we just couldn't imagine ourselves polishing 18 silver nut cups for the 3 high holy holidays a year. Here's what I loved about your Thanksgiving. The turkey floating in the bathtub as it finished defrosting. Did it bob there overnight? Or just for a few hours in the morning as you made the dressing, the mashed potatoes, and the creamed onions that only landed gentry had a taste for? In Minnesota, I remember stuffing the bird the night before, putting it in a disposable roasting pan, covering it all with aluminum foil, and then setting it in the trunk of your car. But I'm pretty sure global warming and fear of foodborne illnesses has ruined that trick now. I also remember the year you fell prey to marketing and bought a bird with a pop-up plastic timer embedded in the breast. The side dishes sat in the second wall oven, the onions bubbled gently in their chafing dish, and the turkey, well, the bird continued cooking because the timer had not yet popped. You were in your blue chambray dress, a scarf nattily knotted at your neck. You leaned an elbow on the mantel and sipped your second scotch and water, and you wept. Because the turkey, the meal, the symbolism, the reality. These are the nostalgic memories, the Norman Rockwell holiday memories we're supposed to have. The darker memories exist as well, and I wouldn't be me, and this wouldn't be the authenticity experiment, if I didn't mention the number of times I counted how many glasses of wine my dad drank, or remembered the time my ex-wife and I did the dishes simply so we could finish the remainder of everybody else's wine, along with the rest of the bottle. Because let's not lie, these dinners were equal parts big laughter and big tension. At some point, you were always in the back bathroom crying, or on the patio smoking a cigarette and cooling off. Even last year, your last Thanksgiving, you got mad at me instead of my dad because he had the gall to die before you. It was your Alzheimer's riddled brain that did it, but you were so mad, and it took so much effort to calm you down, and of course, that is what I hold on to. Not you sitting at the counter in the Tynes kitchen, drinking wine and laughing. Instead, I remember standing at the foot of your bed after I'd driven you home in absolute silence and telling you I didn't know if this would be your last Thanksgiving, but I just wanted a nice evening, and I didn't know why you were so angry. Do you remember what you said to me? You said, "I don't know why I do this. It's like there's something wrong with my brain." I don't even know why I'm mad, and why at you who always tries so hard. I figured explaining about Alzheimer's brain didn't make sense at this point. Grief overtook you, and so I held your hand while we both cried. This year, before dinner, I'll go for a ride, just like I have for the last 6 years. It's supposed to be in the low 40s, and so I'll wear my secret wool shirt and long-sleeve jersey, my fleece-lined tights, and my neoprene shoe covers. It may be even cold enough for the lobster claw gloves. Under my helmet, I'll have on a black skull cap that you think makes me look like a serial killer. Although, to be fair, you think that about most caps, and you're wrong. I have a bit of magical thinking around you and Dad now, imagining you watching me ride, really seeing what an athlete I am. That's the great thing about death, I think. You really are everywhere at once. Here, there, and with me for one last Thanksgiving.